Good morning! Hi guys, welcome back. Thank you for your patience. I don't know why that does that, but I'm going to figure it out and make sure it doesn't happen again. So thank you guys for waiting and for being patient. You guys are awesome. And your suggestions are pretty good, but I haven't seen anybody guess which fairy tale creatures we're going to draw yet. So I'm excited to show you guys what they're going to be. Alright, let's get started. So today's class we're doing fairy tale creatures, and our morning game plan is, as you can see right above me. For anybody new, do we have anybody new in the chat today? I don't know. I'm really. Okay, let's see. You guys talk about being afraid of jellyfish. All right. So we got our art review, some awesome drawings from last episode. Then we have our quote of the day. Then we have our morning mindfulness. Then we have we're going to draw Rapunzel. And then we're going to take a karate break, and then we're going to draw gnomes, and then we're going to do our challenge of the day, and then morning mail, and then I will send you guys off and see you next time. All right, so let's do it. So our art review, we did for our last class, it was creating transportation. That was episode 30, which you guys can watch if you missed it. And we have Hadassah did some awesome drawings, the motorcycle, and then the bullet, which is, I believe, your own version of like a spaceship kind of thing, or a rocket, or jet, or something. Very cool though. Let's see. And let me know if you guys can hear me. I think you should be able to hear me too. But very cool. And I like this background Hadassah. It came across really cool and gives it the illusion of that it's like going very, very fast, especially the flames too at the back. And then Damien did a really cool version of the motorcycle. Really cool. I like the shading, and it looks very like three-dimensional and metallic-y. And then I like your Black Wolf Agency is like the headquarters, I believe you said it was, for your characters that you did. Awesome. Great. I'm glad you guys can hear me. So very nice job, Damien and Hadassah. Zoe did some really awesome drawings, and what I really think is cool is that she was able to send me video of the actual drawings, which is really awesome. And so if you check it out right here, we can watch. Let's see. I think it should play in a second. There we go. And so we can see how Zoe actually drew this picture, which is really cool. And Zoe, what did you think of for creepy comedy movies and TV shows like the Addams Family TV shows or Beatles? Oh, I like that one. Okay, good idea. Good idea. Beetlejuice, Addams Family, for sure. I really liked your drawing, especially the spaceship. It kind of reminds me of, yeah. Yeah, and Procreate does that, and like Sienna said, oh, Sienna, hey, Sienna, you're here. Awesome. In Procreate, it's really cool because you could even do time lapses on your phone. So when I used to go to sketch nights at the CTN studio, and you guys can still do those, watch them virtually. They have on their YouTube channel too. But when I would do the sketch nights, I would sketch it all on my phone with my finger like this, you know, and then you could export the video of your drawing so you could see how your drawing went, which is really cool. Also, turn up your volume. Zoe also finally sent us a video of her puppet, which I loved so much. Okay, let me make sure our volume is up.
Hey guys, I'm Bucky, and I'm a mouse. But this thing on my head makes me look like a porcupine. But don't get me wrong. I'm a mouse.
Hey, guess what?
What?
You got a sock.
Very nice job, Zoe. That was awesome. It was unexpected and hilarious. And I feel like we need to do something more with the puppets. Like make a whole skit or something like that. Where we like send in videos. Would you guys want to do that? Like with all your puppets, we can create like an episode of a TV show or something, and then we can like cut them all together. And I think that would be awesome. Thank you guys for sharing all your work. I loved getting to see everything that you guys do. And I have one other artist that I wanted to share with you. He's right here. This artist also did a drawing of a new vehicle of transportation. And let's see. Oops, hold on a second. There we go. Have you guys seen this yet? This is a joke. It's not a real drawing. But when Elon Musk came out with his vehicle, it just reminded me of some our drawings when we were like coming up with the basic shapes of our vehicles. Somebody did this drawing and made it look like Elon Musk drew his car at the age of 4 and then made it as an adult because it looks like a very simple car. Anyway, obviously jokes are funnier when they're explained, so I just explained it. You're welcome. If you guys want to send in your artwork, send it in to noahfontana@gmail.com, and I'll. This was not a flying car. This is just a regular car. This is like the new Tesla or something that he was coming up with. But he didn't draw that picture. That was just somebody making a joke. Yeah. Okay. So our quote of the day comes from Benjamin Mays, and this guy's actually really cool because he, former ambassador, somebody else, Andrew Young, stated that if it hadn't been for Benjamin Mays, there probably wouldn't have been a Martin Luther King. Mays has often been called the father of the civil rights movement. His rhetoric and intellectual pursuits focused on the spread of nonviolence and civil resistance in the mold of Mahatma Gandhi. So Ben got a lot of his inspiration from Gandhi, but he was the inspiration for Martin Luther King. And you can see right above me right there, that's Benjamin right there, and there's MLK right there. And he was like the teacher advisor for Martin Luther King. Ben also said, "It must be borne in mind that the tragedy of life does not lie in not reaching your goal. The tragedy of life lives in having no goal to reach." So he's saying it's worse to not reach. It's worse to not have a goal as opposed to just not reaching your goal, because at least you're trying for something. He also said, "Every man and woman is born into the world to do something unique and something distinctive, and if he or she does not do it, it will never be done." And then his last quote, "It isn't a calamity to die with dreams unfulfilled, but it is a calamity to not to dream." I'm just reading out your comments. But yeah, every man and woman is born into the world to do something unique and something distinctive, and he or she does not. And if he or she does not do it, it will never be done. That's pretty powerful, and I feel like not everybody acts like there's something that we are here to do individually. I feel like some people just kind of skate through life, and they kind of sit on the sidelines, and they don't live up to potential that they can have because they don't feel like they do have that. So I wanted us to, as we take a moment to breathe and do our morning mindfulness, close your eyes and think about what sets your heart on fire. That means like what gets you excited, what gets you like pumped up, what gets you like really passionate when you talk about it. And Ben reminds us that we are all unique, and with our uniqueness comes a unique mission for each of us and each of our lives, one that no one else will ever be able to do. So there's something that sets your heart on fire that you are the only one that can do. And maybe it is part of a bigger thing, but there's element to that bigger concept that that only you can do. So too often we can find ourselves in a rut or stuck in complacency because we forget the value of our lives have and the effect that we have on the potential to have on this world. So we can actually create change in the world just with our own lives and how we affect other people. So as we move forward to the next portion of class, I'm challenging us today to discover what sets your hearts on fire, and let's draw something very, very unique. Okay, so our first drawing right here, speaking of drawing something very unique, is Rapunzel. All right. Right, so there's something unique about the way that you draw. And Picasso, and I've definitely told you guys this before, Picasso had a quote where he would, or a task that he would task his students, and he would say, okay, all students, he goes, I want you to draw a circle. Oops, and it would help if we were on the right layer. Okay. So we tell students to draw a circle, right? Now, if you guys all did this, and you guys all tried to draw a circle, it would come out a little bit different than the way I drew a circle. Now, because it's a little bit different, that makes it unique. And each of our circles are completely unique from everybody else's circle. So if you're drawing with somebody right now, you can try this experiment and draw a circle and have somebody else draw another circle next to the page, and you can compare how they're different. Now, this is like a really simplified example, but just to show that even your drawings alone are already unique from somebody else's drawings, even if you're drawing something as simple as a circle. And that's part of your uniqueness, is how you've seen circles, how you see circles in your head, where if your arms, like your lines are shaky, if you draw them like really thick like that, or if you're drawing out the circles like that, or maybe you're a little bit like more looser and free-spirited, so you just draw a circle like this, or you're like a perfectionist and you try to draw like a circle like that, even though that looks less perfect. Whatever it is, part of you is coming out into that circle every time you draw. It's coming out to all of your drawings every time you draw. Okay, so what I want to do is to take something that's been done a ton of times over, and we're going to try to create something unique out of it. So this is one of the original drawings of Rapunzel, and if we look at the description of Rapunzel from the Brothers Grimm, they say, when the woman, and I'm going to skip ahead to where they actually talk about her. When the woman gave birth, the sorceress appeared, named the little girl Rapunzel, and took her away. Rapunzel became the most beautiful child under the sun. When she was 12 years old, the sorceress locked her in a tower that stood in a forest that had neither a door nor a stairway, but only a tiny little window at the very top. When the sorceress wanted to enter, she stood below and called out, Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair to me. Rapunzel had splendid long hair, as fine as spun gold. When she heard the sorceress's voice, she untied her braids, wound them around a window hook, let her hair fall 20 yards to the ground, and the sorceress climbed up. A few years later, it happened when a king's son was riding through the forest. As he approached the tower, he heard a song so beautiful that he stopped to listen. It was Rapunzel. She was passing the time by singing with her sweet voice. The prince wanted to climb up to her and looked for a door in the tower, but none was to be found. All right. Okay, guys. Now, I want you to take that description and start thinking in your head how you would draw Rapunzel. Now, this is the older version of Rapunzel. The modern take looks like this. And so there are some similarities and there are some differences that they changed up because of like Disney's style and because of just like the modern twist that we gave it to. I think they made her look a little bit younger than the original drawing. She looks pretty old. She looks way older than 12 in that original drawing. So what I want us to try to do is take the description and create our own version of this. So in the comments, let me know what kind of things, if we were to draw like a modern twist of Rapunzel. So like, let's say this was happening in today's land. What would she look like? How would somebody wear her hair if she had like long hair that was golden like that? They say that she wore it in braids. So we're going to stick to the original text. or we're going to hide these two versions. Okay. I know, right? Okay. Now, just because I see in the comments, I think you guys can still do stuff about it, even if you can't vote. Who will do something for climate change? There's a lot of things that you guys have. You guys, even as kids, have a very strong voice, and you can definitely use your art to encourage people and spread messages that way. How have you guys seen other people using their voice as kids? Because what was that girl that she was like really famous, or like she got really famous because she was talking about global warming, and she was like on all the talk shows and everything. But yeah, anyway, not to get into those issues necessarily, but talking about how you guys can have an effect on the world. I definitely think you guys can. You guys definitely have a voice. It definitely isn't always easy though to find out how your voice is going to be spread, and that's kind of like a lifelong process of figuring that out. We could talk more about that though. Just keep that in mind though. It's definitely a process. It takes time. Just like how drawing, you get better and better. Your drawings become more clear and more clear. As you get older, your voice becomes more stronger and stronger. So it's important now to not lose your voice. I think that's kind of your task right now as kids is to work on finding your voice, along with learning how to communicate that voice to other people in a way that they can understand. Because that's kind of like the biggest part is just communicating to each other. Okay, I think we can get onto the drawing now. So Rapunzel, don't love this pen. Okay. So what are we saying? Greta Thunberg. Yeah, that's who it was. Thank you, Dasa. Okay. Yeah, maybe let's try to figure that part out. Okay, so let's see. It says, she took away Rapunzel's most beautiful child under the sun, 12 years old, so she was 12. She lived in a tower with a little window on top. When the sorceress came to enter, she stood below, called Rapunzel. Her hair looked like spun gold. So we have spun gold. She was 12. Little girl. Untie her braids. Okay. And she sang too. This will be the little window that we'll draw her in. Okay. So Rapunzel's in here. Let's draw her with braids. Now, what would somebody, if you were locked in a tower, kind of like what we are right, locked in quarantine. Oh, you guys got comments. Okay, let's see. Okay, just to pose a question while I read the comments. What would somebody who is locked in a tower dress like? Like, what is the most, probably like what we're wearing right now, like probably sweatpants and like loose t-shirts and everything, because that's like the comfiest thing, right? What if no one listens to us? I'm already having ideas. Okay, good. Which color are you using? Oh, right now I'm using the 6B pencil, and it's just this blue color to do the sketch. Yeah, people are definitely not going to listen to you, and that's okay. I think some people are going to not listen because they don't want to listen, and that's their choice to not listen. But there are some people, I personally think, yeah, probably pajamas, right? I personally think that it's in how you say to them. If you come up to somebody and just a stranger on the street that doesn't ask for your opinion and you start yelling at them and being belligerent about what you care about and passionate, they're not going to really care, and so they're not going to listen. And maybe there's a better approach to that. Like I mean, and it's always being adaptable, and it's more about how you can connect, reach that person, than is that's really the hard part, and that's the part that you always are going to be having to change and figure out what connects people. It's kind of like when people say knowing your audience. You have to know what your audience cares about. What are the issues that care about? What about what you're talking about? Do they care about? Because the things that set your heart on fire aren't necessarily going to set somebody else's heart on fire. All right, let's see. Okay. Let me know if that made sense. For example, like communicating in different ways. Like, I like to teach, but in order for me to still teach, I had to switch to doing YouTube classes because of the COVID. So I had to switch up how I would normally do it. Personally, I like doing the YouTube videos, and it's fun to see all the comments and everything and be able to read those and draw like that and be able to do it in my onesie. But there's an element that I really like that I miss from doing it in person. So there's compromise when you're trying to communicate with people. All right, let's see. She's crossing her legs. Let's see. Yeah, maybe I'm gonna give her like flannel pajamas and a t-shirt. We'll give it like a modern twist. Okay. Would you be? Let's see. If imagine you had tons and tons and tons of hair, how would you wear your hair? Because I feel like braids would be kind of heavy. I don't know if I would. I feel like that would just be like my head would be like tilted back the entire time because of the braids. Okay. I'm gonna be honest, guys. I kind of love it when all of a sudden the chat just stops because I know that means that you guys are drawing. Um, it's awesome. It's like okay, cool. Like things are happening. I think this leg would be the leg that's standing straight. You would just get a haircut, just normal, nothing special. I don't think the godmother would let her get a haircut though, right? Because the godmother gets like the power from the hair. I don't know if that's in the original telling of the story. Or what if you were growing out for like locks of love or something? Exactly. I mean, I wonder if she has. Maybe she doesn't even have scissors. I liked how when they made the original when they made the Disney Rapunzel, they had Claire Keane, who was the artist. She's the daughter of Glenn Keane, who did like Beauty and the Beast and the Little Mermaid, and so Claire actually in Tarzan. Remember when I showed you guys that video of Tarzan, and Glenn Keane was talking about how he drew the eyes of Tarzan when he was like looking at Jane for the first time, and it was like looking at somebody that he knew, and I was like, what does it look like with your eyes when you see somebody that you see yourself in them? And then he said that was like when Jane saw Tarzan was like when he saw Claire for the first time. So that was when he saw his daughter, and he was talking about that in Tarzan. And then now Claire she's an adult, she's like a mom, and she did a lot of the designs for Rapunzel. And I remember hearing her in an interview said that she recorded herself just like doing like stuff around the house just to see what she would do, like the little like movements that she would do, or how she would like hum or sing to herself, or kind of like play with her hair in certain ways, and that was like part of the inspiration for Rapunzel. Okay, now I'm doing the dry ink brush because that's a little bit more like of a solid line. I would use my own scissors and cut my hair. Use a kitchen knife. Oh, ow. What about her hairbrush? You're saying she would use a hairbrush to cut her hair? Okay. All right. What is any other way that you can maintain long hair without cutting it off? Is there a way? Okay, so this tool is the dry ink brush. Um, so I've only used the two brushes. I've used the pencil, the 6B pencil, and now this is the dry ink brush in the inking section. It's just like the one that I like to color with. The only thing that I like about it more than like just a clean brush is that if you do it from the side, or if you press lighter, it gets lighter, so you can kind of shade a little bit too. All right, so I feel like this is like a pretty interesting version of Rapunzel in the Disney movie. Why is Rapunzel a chameleon? I don't know why she has a chameleon. I haven't read the entire story, but that would be kind of cool to read the entire Grimm's fairy tale version of Rapunzel, because they're very different than the Disney version. All right, so we're going to stop this one right now. We're going to move on to the next portion of class, which is our karate break. Are you guys ready to do some Sensei Says? Zach, I'm ready to get you out. And all of you guys, I'm going to get you out this time. Here we go. Okay. Oh, let me put on my... You know what? It's kind of still hot. I don't want to pass out today, so let's not put on the belt. Alright. Are you guys ready? Okay. Sensei says Kyosuke. Sensei says horse riding stance. There we go. Okay. Sensei says straight punch. Sensei says straight punch. Sensei says heel palm. Sensei says heel palm. Sensei says spear hand. Sensei says front kick. Sensei says front kick. Sensei says straight punch. Sensei says spear hand. Sensei says back fist. Sensei says back fist. Sensei says front kick. Sensei says side kick. Sensei says back kick. Sensei says straight punch. Sensei says front kick. Sensei says side kick. Sensei says back kick. Straight punch. Did I get you with the straight punch? Alright. Ready, here we go. Horse riding stance. Did I get you with the horse riding stance? I didn't say Sensei has. Alright. I don't see a lot of comments. I'm thinking I got somebody up with that one. Alright. Sensei says horse riding stance. We're still in. Alright, Zach. I got you. Don't worry. She looks like Goldilocks. Okay. Well, we tried. Thank you, Kevin. Let's see. Sensei says rising block. Sensei says cross block. Sensei says middle block. Sensei says front kick. Sensei says side kick. Sensei says straight punch. Sensei says spear hand. Sensei says down block. Sensei says middle block. Sensei says straight punch. Sensei says straight punch. Sensei says hammer fist. Sensei says hammer fist. Sensei says straight punch. Sensei says spear hand. Sensei says spear hand. Sensei says straight punch. Sensei says straight punch. Sensei says middle block. Sensei says down block. Sensei says middle block. Sensei says cross block. Sensei says front kick. Sensei says side kick. Back kick. Did I get you with the back kick? Alright. Are you guys all still in? You almost fell for it. Oh, you're still in. Okay. Kyosuke. Did I get you with the Kyosuke? I'm trying to be real sneaky now. I'm not holding back. You guys are too good at this. Okay. Do you guys like practice Sensei says like without me? Is that what's going on? Is that why you guys are like experts at this? Okay. Okay. Sensei says. I'm trying to think of what it is. Sensei says front kick. Sensei says rising block. Sensei says back kick. Sensei says straight punch. Sensei says side kick. Sensei says hammer fist. Sensei says heel palm. Sensei says side kick. Sensei says front kick. Sensei says straight punch. Sensei says back kick. Sensei says spear hand. Sensei says heel palm. Sensei says side kick. Sensei says front kick. Sensei says back kick. Sensei says side kick. Sensei says back kick. Sensei says front kick. Back kick. Side kick. Did I get you with that back kick, front kick, side kick? Okay, you don't practice. Okay. I don't know why you need to flex like that. Okay. Let me see. Isabella. All right, I'm gonna get you out, Isabella. Okay. Here we go. Okay. Still in. Yes, I know you guys are still in. Okay. Are you guys actually doing this? Like, are you guys actually like standing up and like punching and kicking and stuff like that? Okay. How funny would it be if you guys were all just sitting in your seat, just saying like, "Oh, I'm still in," but you weren't even doing it? That'd be hilarious. Okay. You can't follow? Gotcha, Zoe. Okay. Okay. Sensei says straight punch. Sensei says straight punch. Sensei says straight punch. Sensei says spear hand. Sensei says straight punch. Sensei says straight punch. Sensei says straight punch. Sensei says spear hand. Sensei says straight punch. Sensei says straight punch. Sensei says straight punch. Sensei says spear hand. Sensei says straight punch. Sensei says straight punch. Sensei says straight punch. Sensei says spear hand. Sensei says straight punch. Straight punch. I know I got somebody with that one. Okay. Sensei says front kick. Sensei says side kick. Sensei says back kick. Sensei says front kick. Sensei says side kick. Sensei says back kick. Sensei says front kick. Sensei says back kick. Sensei says side kick. Heel palm. Okay, Sensei says straight punch. Sensei says back fist. Sensei says spear hand. Sensei says straight punch. Sensei says back fist. Sensei says spear hand. Sensei says straight punch. Sensei says back fist. Sensei says spear hand. Sensei says front straight punch. Sensei says back fist. Sensei says spear hand. Sensei says straight punch. Sensei says back fist. Sensei says spear hand. Sensei says straight punch. Straight punch. Sensei says back fist. Sensei says spear hand. Sensei says straight punch. Sensei says back fist. Sensei says side kick. Did you do a side kick? I said Sensei says. Okay. Oh, I got you, Kevin. All right. Okay, I'm going to quit. Well, I got Kevin and Zoe out right now. Isabella, Zach, I'm going to have to get you guys next episode because we got to draw our next character. Okay. But well done, guys. Very, very well done. Arigato. Thank you. Okay. So for our next character, we're gonna do gnomes. Gnomes are the weirdest. Let's just get started. They are not. They have an interesting history, which we're just gonna be scratching the surface of. But okay, because gnomes are just all over the place. It's like garden gnomes and stuff. Very interesting history. Yeah. So to do our garden, our gnomes. Here we go. This is like one of the earliest drawings of them. This little guy right here. I really like this painting, by the way, too. It's just very like, I like it, calming. Okay, now, here we go. Yeah, this painting was from 1848. This one. Zach, did I get you? Why are you laughing at me? Okay. Okay. The Earth is filled almost. Okay, so this is a book, Conte de Gabilis, I think. Oh, French satire. So I was not giving a French accent. Oops. Okay. The Earth is filled almost to the center with gnomes or fairies, a people of small stature, the guardians of treasures, of mines, and precious stones. So think about that. Start thinking of like what that would look like, because we're going to do the same thing that we do with Rapunzel, and we're going to draw our own gnome. So these gnomes are the guardians of treasures, of mines, and of precious stones. So what would somebody look like if they like handled precious stones all the time and were in mines and treasures? They are ingenious, friends of men, and easy to command. So they're smart, but they oh, I didn't get you, Zach. Okay, but they're easy to command. Like, so they're not. I wouldn't say they're ambitious. I guess they're okay. So they're almost like animals, kind of like where it's like dogs can be smart, but they know to listen to a command. They furnish the children of the sages with as much money as they have need of, and never ask of anything of reward in their services. Then the glory of being commanded. So they like having a leader. The nomads or wives of these gnomes are little but very handsome, and their habit marvelously curious. So they live in some places. So I feel like they're very like unique and creative and. Oh, I will get you out, Isabella. Don't you worry. It's gonna happen one of these days. Let's see. Gnomes in the 19th century fiction, the chthonic gnome became a sort of antithesis to the more airy or luminous fairy. So it's like the opposite, almost like the inverse, the reverse of the fairy. Nathaniel Hawthorne in Twice Told Tales contrasts the two in small enough to be king of the fairies and ugly enough to be king of the gnomes. Okay. So they're not exactly like, fairies are like light and like airy and kind of like more attractive. Gnomes are not that way. All right, so this is one of the first drawings of the gnomes. Now we have our modern take of Romeo and Juliet right here. And there's a whole history about the guy who started the hats and everything, the red hats and the buckle and everything like that. So I think these guys are almost a little bit too, they seem a little too put together from the original description. And not saying that they did it wrong, they just took it a different approach for their story. But I think for our story, what are you guys thinking for our story? I think, let's see. And just a heads up, does anybody need to leave at exactly 11 today? I know sometimes you guys have classes and stuff like that. I'm okay to go like 10 minutes over since we were a little bit late and we can finish our drawing and everything. But if anybody needs to leave right away, we can do the challenge of the day and the morning mail before you leave. So let me know. Okay. So let's say like, a regular person. So I'm using the 6B pencil. Let's say a regular person is like this. Okay, our gnomes, I think we want them to be like up to like half the thigh, I think, right? I think those should be strong too, so I'm going to give them like broad shoulders and maybe a bigger torso and like shorter legs. Okay, cool. You guys are all good? Cool. Awesome. We're going to give them kind of like big, tough hands because if they're working with precious stones and they're working with the earth a lot, like they said. Let's see what we got. They got to be ugly too, so we got to make sure they're not. Okay. They're ingenious. They're like very, like almost like carpenters. I'm imagining, like very like clever and like able to build things. They're very humble. Treasures, mines, and precious stones. Okay. So they know how to like handle things that are expensive and delicate. We could give them pointy ears. I feel like that could be kind of cool. Because that won't necessarily make them look it'll make them look kind of like elves, but not, because we'll make them look uglier. And it's funny, like, I've worked with some people that are really good with like carpentry or like just like building things or electrical stuff or whatever. And so I'm like in my head, I'm like picking different elements of them. Like if they had a certain haircut that I remember, or if like they had a specific nose, I'll incorporate that into the drawing. And you guys can do the same thing too. So just draw, like take from what you know. All right, let's see. How you guys doing with yours? What is going on out there? All right. Feeling pretty good about this guy. Okay. How are you guys looking? Are you guys following along, or are you creating your own? So I think we have enough of a sketch. I'm gonna make this guy bigger now. Let's see. So now we can draw him in detail. So now I usually like to ink with the dry ink brush too. We're doing like an outline. I'll just change the opacity so it's a little bit lighter. That way we can see better. And I have written down, I know some of you guys had requested doing like a Procreate lesson where we just show that stuff. I'm just worried like that not a lot of people have Procreate, and so it might not be fun for everybody. But maybe we can do, maybe I'll be able to do like an online class soon and get that stuff organized. I always think it's interesting when you see people that like don't look like they care about their looks, but then they have like facial hair, like a goatee or something. I think it's like an interesting contrast because that means that they're making a conscious choice to grow out a goatee, and like their facial hair a certain way. Like it would be a lot easier if they just shaved it all off all at once because they have to shave the rest of the face. So it's like the fact that they're choosing to have a goatee shows that they like do care a little bit about their looks, or like they are like trying to make some stylistic choices, even if like the rest of their wardrobe might look pretty messy. I always just thought that was really interesting about people that when I noticed like people with their facial hair, which is also why I gave this guy a little goatee because I feel like he can care about his looks, but he's always so messy because he's like works in the mines and the caves, so he probably can't control how his clothes look that much, but he can control his facial hair. And I know that's a thing too for a lot of people, where they feel like they can't control a lot of things, but they can control their hair. We're talking a lot about hair today, I just realized, with Rapunzel too. Okay. I gave him overalls because I feel like that's the outfit of somebody that builds things a lot of the times. All right. You guys are quiet. How are you guys doing? Is everybody drawing, trying to follow along? Also, if you're copying this version and you're not making your own version, you can still color it however you want too. So you can still do it. I'm interested to see how you guys would color these guys, these little gnomes. Okay. There we go. All right, I just finished my Rapunzel drawing. Oh, nice. Okay, cool. I'm not sure what kind of shoes you should wear. I'm kind of just drawing like a generic boot, like a sneaker. What do you guys think? Should he have a specific kind of shoe? I guess like boots maybe would be better, right? Like work boots, like Timberlands or something. Boots. I just finished Rapunzel. Okay, cool. All right. I think this arm needs to be. The arms are on the same sizes, and the hands are. Okay, here we go. That's a little bit better. Okay. There we go. All right. I'm gonna stop it right there. There is our gnome. I'm feeling pretty good about him. He looks like I would want him to work for me. I would want him, like I would want to leave him in charge of like mining and like finding my little jewels and everything like that. And I feel like he can definitely get it done. What do you guys think? Jordans, like sneakers? That would be pretty fun. Yeah, definitely give your gnome Jordans. All right. Our challenge of the day is to research your favorite fairy tale and create your own unique take on the main character. So, the toes are curled. Oh, is he barefoot, like a hobbit kind of thing? Yeah. But I want you to not just take what you know about your character. I want you to actually look up the original telling of your favorite character, your favorite fairy tale, and then do that, and then do your own version of your fairy tale, the fairy tale that you like. Okay, so research your own fairy tale story and create your own character based off of that one. Favorite version of gnomes are the ones in trolls. What about box trolls? I mean, I guess those are trolls and not gnomes, but the toes on the shoes are curled. Oh, like curled up, like the little. Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. Okay. Oh, and our morning mail for today comes from Hadassah. She drew an awesome dog, and I'm going to read it right now, the letter. I'm writing a book about a dog named Max who has a big heart and got hit by a car. He miraculously survives, but he's very injured and he can't remember anything from his past, which means he doesn't remember who his owner is. Anyways, in the book, I'm adding illustrations, so this is what he looks like. And you have inspired me, and I've learned so much from you. Thank you. Thank you, Hadassah. And in the end, Max does find his owner, so it's a happy ending. And thank you, Hadassah. That was very sweet of you to say. I'm so glad you've gotten stuff from my class. And here's your dog. I told Hadassah in the email that it reminds me of kind of like the style of Feast, that Pixar Disney short, where they didn't use like outlines, but they just had colors in the shading, and it looks really cool. I really like how you. I like your style. It looks very cool. And the even like the little details of like the little like hole at the back of the leg, like right. Let me see with the mouse. This part right here, that little like white hole, it just adds so much to the structure of the dog and the drawing, and it's stuff that would have been easy to just kind of like fill in with the shape. But the fact that you added that, I like that a lot. So very nice job. I'm excited to see this poor dog looks very injured, and I kind of I already feel sympathy for it. Okay, really cool job. So for next week, submit your drawings, noahfontana@gmail.com. If you want to help support, we have a link below for like donations. And soon we're going to be, hopefully soon, fingers crossed, we'll be able to do classes. We're going to be doing morning cartooning at the studio, the CTN studio again, like we did at the start. And if that happens, would anybody be interested in coming to the studio? And that you can get tickets for, and you can kind of like how they do like live shows and live screenings of like the Ellen Show or like the Late Show with Jimmy Fallon or whatever, and people can sit in the audience, and it also goes to TV. Let us know if that would be something that you guys would be interested in getting tickets for, and actually doing the morning cartooning with me in person at the CTN studio. We'll still be posting it live and going live on YouTube, but you guys could actually be like right in front of me drawing along too, and then we can like talk, and I can see your drawings and help you guys out like afterwards for a little bit. I think that would be really fun. I would love to do some in-person stuff too, but I also don't want to like lose the YouTube stuff because that's a lot of fun too. Don't forget to thumbs up and subscribe. I did not like the video yet. I'm number 6. I feel like I'm always number 6. Yes, of course, Isabel. We are definitely going to stick with, the plan is to stick with the YouTube channel, of course. But instead of me filming it from, this is right now I'm in my apartment. Instead of me filming in my apartment, we would film it at the CTN studio, where they host a lot of other classes that are really cool for you guys to go to if you're in the area. But it'll look the same to you if you're just watching on YouTube. It won't look any different. But if you're in the area, which it's the CTN studios in Burbank, if you're in the area, you can choose to come and do that if you want. And if you're in the area and you don't want to, or you're like sick or something, you can stay home. Anyway, I don't think we're quite there yet with the quarantine, the virus and stuff, so that's just in the works, but I just wanted to give you guys a heads up. Let me know what we should draw next. Oh, what's going on? Hey guys, my computer just tried to restart. Sorry. Okay, there we go. Now it's back on. I didn't know they could do that. It literally just like started like closing down my windows before my eyes. That's it, I guess. I wasn't gonna say anything. Just want to say goodbye. Thank you guys for your patience. I'm gonna work on these. Make sure my computer does not try to restart immediately. But thank you. And next episode is, oh, okay, let me tell you. Next episode is, my notes. Yes, okay. We're going to be drawing dogs. So on Thursday, we're going to be drawing dogs. It's going to be so exciting. I already have a bunch of dogs picked out from the ones that you guys suggested. So if you have any other ones that you want to do, send me them in an email. But if not, I mean, we have a lot. So we might not even be able to get to more because I already have like, I think 6 already to draw. But yes, thank you guys so much. And I'll see you. Yes, we do have Golden Retriever on there. So don't worry about that, Hadassah. And I'm going to end the stream now for real. And I'll see you guys on Thursday, 10 a.m. Okay? Or 10 a.m. PST, so California time. Okay? And if you're in East Coast, 3 hours ahead. Okay, bye guys. Thanks.